how this technology professional secured a full-time job in tech before graduation.
Well, not, I didn't have much updating to do because it was already updated from my grad school applications, but I started making little tweaks here and there. But again, utilizing the resources on campus, I reached out to our career services office at Delta State, and they were more than happy to assist me
Wow.
and just hey, you could say this that way to have more impact. You could do this. This is a more up-to-date format for a resume. So those little things and
Mm.
those little adjustments were really good. Hey, you have a good resume, have a strong resume, but let's try to make it one page. And little things like that. And after that meeting, I felt ready. But then we had a follow-up meeting where and man, these people didn't have to do that, but that's the kind of opportunities that when you reach out and people see that
Hmm.
you want to help yourself and you're
Yeah.
willing to go that extra mile,
Yeah.
people will go that extra mile with you. And they were like, okay, so 2, 3 days from now, let's set up some mock interview. Let's set up a mock interview so we could
Wow.
kind of prepare you in case you land something. So it was like, man, like, so I get there 2 days, do the mock interview, and they started. And why that mock interview was really good for me is
Hmm.
because I hadn't interviewed until I interviewed for my internship in St. Lucia in 2006.
Oh, wow.
So the change from 2006
Yeah. Yeah.
2018, you could imagine if I went into an interview not having any refining of my skills,
Yeah.
I'd have been toast. But anyway, they started asking all those situational questions and giving me little tips about the STAR method and stuff like that. And if you're not familiar with the STAR method,
Yeah. What's that? Break it down for us.
so the STAR method is how you respond to situational questions. So S is the
Situation.
situation, T is the task, A is the action, and R is the result. So in your response to those questions, you kind of touch on all of these and bring it full circle. But then they added another piece to me. They say it's not just about the results. Now, to tie the bow, you have to say how those results will benefit the position you're applying for, the team, and the company as a whole. So that was a game changer. That was so profound. So you go in there, you say, okay, so they'll ask you like, tell me about a time when you worked on a team and somebody wasn't pulling their weight or something. So you say, well, yeah, I was in college. I worked on this project, and I had a team member who was a slack, and the task was obviously to get him to pull his weight. So hey, I met with him personally, one on one. We found out what was stopping him from pulling his weight and what we could do to provide support and stuff like that. And hey, he told us, and this is what we did. We gave him he preferred to do this task rather than the one he was given. So we reassess everybody's strengths and we give everybody tasks that aligned with their strengths. So that way the output of what they gave would have been exceptional. And the result was we got an A on the project. But so what? We got an A on the project, but okay. So that's where you tie into like that experience of handling that conflict and working with a team. That will be instrumental to my role in this position and my team members in serving
Wow.
our business partners. And at the end of the day, if you could build those relationships and foster that kind of relationships and environment, that could improve bottom line and our shareholders will be happy. So, you
Whew,
you
man.
you kind of bring things full circle
Yeah.
and see you make people see how they could benefit from that impact of your experience. So those little tricks were really helpful. So career day came, career fair came.
Yannick, hold that thought. I have to interject here. Listen, Yannick, you just changed somebody's life, man, by what you just said. Either on this call or somebody who listens, because man, that is so powerful. You're absolutely right. And you give a very practical example. Yes, what if you give a story about what you did in college, but tying it back to what they're looking for? That just blew my mind because these are things I think I had to learn, and it took me a while to learn them. As a matter of fact, guys, true story. I call him my sponsor, the person who hired me at the company I currently work at. It was just a few months ago. She was explaining this concept to me, not in these words, but let me know that you have to make sure the different sources of meaning and make sure you're tying it to the different source of meaning based on who you're speaking to. And again, I did not know this before, guys. I never knew about it. So if you could get this now, research the STAR method and understand it and use it, oh my God, I promise you, you will probably outshine almost every other candidate you interview against, because not many people know this stuff. So Yannick, man, I that was just really good. And I just want to say a few things you referenced. Career services, guys, leverage those departments. On last week's podcast, the guest, Doug Hamilton, NASDAQ guy, he was saying that universities want you to get hired because the alumni want to ask you for money. So they're invested. If they see you have potential, guys, you've been doing your thing, they want to get you hired. So you go into career services office, they will help you. And then circle the career day. I mean, that is so important. Circle those career days. I know now with COVID, things might be a bit shaky, but there'll be some virtual offerings. You don't have to leave your house, right? So keep that in mind. But Yannick, I had to just interject because that was just so powerful and profound. And I know for a fact lives are going to be changed just by what you said. But definitely proceed, man. I'm sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, so career fair came and guess where I went? I went straight to IP's table and built that connection and had that conversation and you know, they were really impressed, like just the conversation. Then they had like a prelim, like get to know you kind of thing interview before they actually determine if you would be a solid candidate to bring up to headquarters and interview. And I went through that process successfully and you know, did the interviews and stuff. And I mean, I'd never done interviews like that. So, you know, you have group interviews, right? And it wasn't the traditional group interview. It was an all-day affair and it was a unique experience. It was first time for me. It wasn't, and I'm sure it's like that for a lot of companies now, I assume. It was an all-day affair and it was like half an hour interview, then half an hour info session or 1 hour info session. Then you get a break, then another 4 interviews and 4 info sessions in a day. And in each interview, you meet 3 completely new managers. And that's how it went. So
Wow.
so yeah, so that was that experience. That went smoothly, got the job offer and, you know, accepted and landed. And remember, guys, that's November 2018. I just started school. So it was about being proactive because I didn't want to be like others who, when they graduate, start looking because I saw what they were going through.
Yeah.
So by November, first week, December, I got a job offer. So